Coming up, from shipyards to condemned buildings, this lumber company salvages a part of American history,
giving it an extended life to a resource that would otherwise just be trashed.
We're on our way to Berwick, Maine, to a lumber company that doesn't cut down trees. They're in the business of salvaging old wood. Mark Poirier owns this lumber company. He's a dedicated environmentalist who also loves American history. Mark founded this company out of concern over the destruction of Longleaf southern pine forests. His mission is to reclaim this wood from old buildings slated for demolition.
We can't see the outside of the tree, but my guess, educated guess, 200 to 400-year-old trees, sawn in the south, shipped to the north, in the building since 1870. So you do the math. I mean, the stuff is, it's original timber, virgin growth, antique heart pine.
This premium quality wood came from the trees that used to dominate the East Coast, but were largely used up in the building boom of the Industrial Revolution. So Mark gets his wood from the timbers of those very buildings, old rundown mills, barns, and shipyards, and even the ships themselves.
This particular material here is live oak, and these are ships' timbers that were salvaged from Charlestown Navy Yard in Boston Harbor. They date to the War of 1812. Live oak is pounds per board foot, which makes it the densest wood in North America and the hardest wood in North America. And we're lucky enough to get these, and we're sawing these up into furniture.
Mark uses Longleaf southern pine, also known as hard pine, mainly for flooring. That's the prime quality hard pine on the right, next to a less desirable type of pine on the left.
This is hard pine here, longleaf. It's got very, very dense grain. All this grain, late and early wood, is full of resin, very hard, and excellent for flooring. This is a wider grain, a more open grain, essentially is less quality in terms of flooring.
When the highly prized longleaf pine arrives here, there's some work to be done before it can be sold. The first step in reclaiming it is pulling the nails.
This is extremely time-consuming. These particular nails here that Phil is taking out are very rusted, so it's going to be laborious. Older nails are cast iron, and they're very brittle when they get rusty and snap right off. Interestingly, we also find stuff buried inside the beams, which we can't get out from the surface, things like bullets. And, you know, the bullets could be, who knows, these trees being as old as they are from the Revolutionary War, they could be from the Civil War, hunters. The next stage is to bring the denailed beam to the bandsaw so that it can be cut into 1-inch planks.
The operator cuts off any rot, broken wood, or paint.
We'll take a 1/4 inch off on each side, and that goes into a container that's shipped to an appropriate facility and disposed with hazardous waste.
Once the timber to planks, the wood is dried in a kiln to equalize the moisture content and make sure its dimensions will remain stable.
Wood salvaged from old mills and warehouses is not truly dry. You'd think it would be after 100 years, but because of wet roofs and basements, it needs to be evened out in the kiln to an 8% moisture content. Also, we want to make sure that we kill any bugs that are left in the wood. We do that by heating the wood to 120 degrees for a period of roughly 48 hours. Then we bring the material in here into the shop from the kiln, and we bring it first to the planer. The planer is a very simple machine. All it does is bring the rough sawn board to a common thickness. When we're making flooring, that's 15/16 of an inch. That wood is then ripped. The rip saw determines the final width of the board. Anything that's a defect is sawn off there. Defects include snots, unsightly nail holes, rot, etc.
You don't see a floor full of sawdust here because it's being automatically recycled. Everything is put to use.
We blow all the sawdust out of the machinery into a 48-foot trailer, which in turn is sold to a company that manufactures wood stove pellets. So nothing here is wasted.
The last step in turning old wood into new flooring happens at this machine, called a molder.
At this point, we're going to be putting the final profile on the board. That means the tongue, the groove, the reliefs on the bottom of the board, and the finished surface of the board. This is it. This is our finished product here.
And this piece rates as the top grade, the best of Longleaf hard pine floors.
This is the traditional floor in the Victorian period when this was readily available stuff.
Finally, the tongue and groove flooring is bundled up and ready for shipping. The end product has proven to be not just eco-friendly, but profitable.
It's economically beneficial for us, and it's also giving it an extended life to a resource that would otherwise just be trashed.
Mark Poirier is taking century-old lumber and giving it new life. And in the process, he's doing something good for the environment. It's great meeting all these people all over the country building and renovating green. And I'm proud to be part of it. We'll see you next time on Renovation Nation.